that nothing that's in their community is their fault. Everything that goes on in Black America that's bad, you can attribute that to another race, be it white people, Jews, Hispanics, Asians. Nothing, black people are to blame for nothing. If you listen to these racial pimps and civil rights charlatans, the likes of the Reverend Al Sharpton, Messy Jackson, the irrelevant, dead, outdated, molded, crusted NAACP, the National Urban League, and a host of other dead, antiquated civil rights has-beens and never-wases left over from the 60s. If you listen to these individuals, then what you're going to listen to is a doctrine that's saturated with blame whitey, blame Jews, blame Asians, blame Hispanics, but never in that doctrine, not one time, do these savages tell Black America to look in the mirror. If you want to find the #1 problem in Black America, look in a mirror. If you want to see why your communities are ravaged with drugs and liquor stores and Asian stores and Lebanese stores selling you bad meat, selling you single cigarettes, liquor, and buying your food stamps, look in the mirror. Look in the mirror, black people. So, again, I don't think that my language is hate speech. I don't classify it as self-hate. I classify it as love. Because if I didn't love you Negroes, if I didn't love you monkeys, if I didn't see a twinkle in your eye that gave me the glimmer that there might be a chance we could savage some of you savages, I wouldn't waste my time. And nowhere is this dysfunctional nature best represented than when you look at this Trayvon Martin case. For when you view this, and I'm not talking about, because no one was there. So we really don't know what happened. We don't know what was in George Zimmerman's heart. We don't know what Trayvon Martin done. All we know is what the media is telling us. And we should already know at this late stage of the game that the media really can't be trusted. And the media will report only that which fits the narrative that they're trying to promote. So we really don't know what happened. So we're going to exclude that. And we're going to let that play itself out in the course. After all, this is America. And this is what we have. If you're convicted of a crime, you have your day in court. And you can be tried by a jury of your peers. And you have an opportunity to answer those charges. This is what is going to happen. So we'll allow that to play itself out. The part that shows how dysfunctional the American Negro is when you look at all of these protests, all of these marches, all of these holding of the signs and demanding and the tossing of the race car. When you look at this and you take into consideration the number of black on black homicides, the number of black on black assaults, black on black rapes, black men killing other black men over half-eaten Snickers bars or bright yellow gumballs or Air Jordan tennis shoes. When you look at the number of black men assaulting black women, when you look at the number of black men who have maimed senior citizens in their community, holding them hostages in their own homes because seniors are afraid to go outside to just sit on the porch and enjoy the sun and listen to the birds chirp because these Negroes are running up and down the street shooting at each other over foolishness or some big butt black heifer who really don't like neither one of them. This is what you have with this Negro. But you don't, when you see these dysfunctional acts take place within the Negro community, not once do you see pimps, the likes of Al Sharpton, Messy Jackson, the outdated dead NAACP, the irrelevant Urban League, or any other dead civil rights organization marching, protesting, saying, look, y'all, we got to clean this up. And you know why they don't do that? I'm going to tell you why they don't march when it's black on black. It's because there's no cameras involved. The media don't report on this. There's no money to be made. So you Negroes can kill each other with rapidity, and you will hear one peep from the Messy Jacksons and the Al Charlatans of the world, because they only arrive on the scene when they can pull a race card. When they can say, wait a minute, this person shot this black person because he's black. And then all of a sudden Al Sharpton pops up and wants to hold a press conference. And then the deceitful thing that the lamestream media does is that they'll turn a camera on this buffoon, promoting him as the spokesman for Black America. And then when you find those who say, wait a minute, stop the tape. Al Charlatan and Messy Jackson and the NAACP don't speak for me. They don't even represent me. So stop putting a camera and a mic in their face, listening to these guys spew their racial jargon and their race baiting, pulling the race card. Stop putting the camera in these buffoons' face, because you promote them when you do that. But this Trayvon Martin case, I'm telling you, as it plays itself out, you're going to see black people at their worst. Well, let me rephrase that. As this Trayvon Martin case plays itself out, you're going to see black people at their best. Because what black people are going to do is black people are going to march, they're going to protest, they're going to gain and lock their smelly arms together, swinging back and forth, singing, "We shall overcome." This is what they're going to do. And God forbid that a jury finds him and acquits George Zimmerman, and he walks out of jail a free man. I'm going to tell you what you Negroes are going to do. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. You Negroes are going to riot, because that's what you are. You're a race of looters, rapists, robbers, drug dealers, and this is what you people are going to do. And you have no one else to blame. You have no one else to blame for this but your Reverend Al Charlatans and your Messy Jesse Jacksons. For they are the ones who benefit most when you Negroes burn and loot your own communities. Just like what you did after the death of Martin Luther King. When you look at the modern urban so-called quote-unquote ghetto, those ghettos evolved right after the riots of the 60s. When Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated, black communities across the nation went up in flames. And white people, rightfully so, mind you, said, look, you know what? Enough of this. I'm out of here. I'm heading to the suburbs. And what took place is what sociologists define as white flight. White people were moving out of the inner cities in record numbers. When they left the inner cities, they took with them a tax base. And what was left was ignorant Negroes, an influx of minorities. The jobs also left because they get tired of y'all looting and robbing and maiming every time y'all get mad. So the industries left. So all you had there now was a seedbed of crime, drugs, poverty, influx of immigrants, poor schools, dilapidated housing. And the few Negroes who benefited from the affirmative action programs, they left too. As soon as they could rub two nickels together, they packed up and they got out of the inner city as well. So what you have now is what we call the ghetto. And this is a creation, a direct correlation with the riots of the 60s. But still, you don't hear the Negro leadership coming to the black people saying, look, y'all, we got to put a stop to this. There's other ways that we can voice our disappointment with the system. We have to stop looting and burning our own communities. You don't hear that from these Negroes. Because I'm going to tell you, when you savages loot and rob and burn after George Zimmerman, if he walks, Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, the NAACP board is going to be sitting in a nice, plush, 5-star hotel, air conditioned, with their feet up, drinking, smoking, and watching everything unfold on a flat screen TV. While you Negroes are out robbing, looting, stealing, maiming, and of course, breaking into liquor stores and tennis shoe stores, getting Air Jordans and cognac.